Hello and welcome to Spirit Forest. If you have watched some of my videos, I have been doing a lot of videos on Zion. Scott and I have been exploring Zion. One of my bucket list items was to do the Narrows, which is where you hike through a river, and I thought that would be an awesome experience, and I think it was really cool. So while we were here, we ended up hiking some other trails too, and in fact in this video I'm going to show you another trail called Emerald Pools. Pools? Falls or pools? Pools. Emerald Pools. We'll eventually get to that after this. But what I want to do is that we learned a ton just by being here in Zion and figuring out the reservations, figuring out like what you should do, possibly what you shouldn't do. And we thought that it would be a really cool idea to kind of tell you guys what it is that we learned. So if you come here again, or if we come here again, we're going to watch this video so we know what to expect, because there are some things that we brought that we didn't need to bring. There was things that we purchased that we probably didn't need to purchase, and probably to save you guys some time if you come to Zion to go hiking and backpacking, what it is that you should bring. So the first thing we want to talk about is the reservations. I am not used to having to go to a forest and have reservations to be able to visit there, but here you definitely need reservations. I would not come here, especially if you're looking to backpack. I would not come here without any type of reservation at all. Let's see, you either do it 30 days in advance is what we rented our campsites.
Yes.
What else?
Well, specific hikes like the Angel's Landing hike, you have to reserve those as well. So you want to make sure that you check online with the Forestry Service of Utah, and you want to make sure that you're looking at the hikes that you want to do. And some of them have reservations, you have to get permits, some of them you don't. We got lucky and we actually got into the lottery for the Angel's Land hiking the day before, and we got lucky and we did get it.
You can only do it 24 hours in advance, so not everyone can do the Angel's Landing, and we had the congratulations email, which we will show you. I mean, if you haven't seen our video of hiking the Angel's Landing, check that out. We got stories to tell on that one. And then let's see, what else for reservations? Oh, campsites. I think campsites book more than 30 days. The campsites within the park itself might book more than 30 days. So if you're coming here, just make sure that you really plan ahead and you kind of know what you want to do. Of course, we didn't know what we wanted to do until we got here, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's like hiking heaven right here. Our plan was to backpack in the Narrows. They have 12 campsites in the Narrows. Spoiler alert, we didn't end up backpacking in the Narrows because we could not find all the information we needed online, and we ended up finding the information out here in Zion. I would say that the rangers here, the ones for the permits, we were not very impressed with them.
They don't know a lot, and the stuff that we found out that the information they gave us wasn't exactly true. We kind of learned by the School of Hard Knocks, I think, on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like we went and you talk to them, you have to get your permit 24 hours in advance to camp here. So you got to think about that as well. So if you're wanting to backpack here, you have to be here 24 hours in advance to get your permit to come here the next day to go backpacking. So keep that in mind. We were very lucky. We were able to get a permit for a campsite the day of, because they had an opening, but I think during peak season that won't be the case. So again, keep that in mind. I wouldn't say the rangers have backpacked these areas, so you're asking them questions about the backpacking or the conditions of the trails or anything like that. They don't seem to know it, and I think some of them haven't even hiked all the trails, which was really unfortunate. So what we did is we talked to people in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. I think that the information that the rangers have are basically the information that they're getting from the people that have already hiked it. Yeah. And I like Tam was saying, we got the best information in the parking lot when we were getting ready to go out. We talked to people that just got back, and they were giving us the lowdown on exactly what their experience was and what to do and what not to do. And for instance, perfect example, the rangers are telling us the water's freezing cold and you have to have the waders with the insulated boots. I wore tennis shoes and shorts, and actually I thought that it was great and it was refreshing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I would say that talk to the people in the parking lot if you're coming here. Again, I felt that they were more knowledgeable than the actual rangers here. So we learned our lesson on parking. When it comes to parking in Zion, it's a different experience, I would say. There is a town outside of Zion. When I say outside, it's literally walking distance from walking within a mile of the Zion National Park. So it's called Springdale. And when you start driving in, they'll have all these markers saying that the parking lot is full, don't go into Zion, park here, take the bus, go in. When we first arrived here, it was like 3 p.m., I think, something like that. So we actually just decided we're going to drive into Zion. So we paid the fee, drove into Zion, and we got a parking spot. But you literally had to follow people to their car and wait for them to get out to find a parking spot. So I would say if you're looking to park in Zion, get here at between 7 and 8 in the morning, and then you'll be able to get parking in Zion. And I do think it's worth it than parking in the city and taking the bus. We've done it both ways, though. Yeah. If
you get here, I mean, we're here in May, and we kind of figured this morning that we got here before 9 o'clock, but literally, I would say probably 15 minutes after we've been here, there were already people driving around asking, are you guys leaving or you just get here? So if you want to park in the visitor center, depending on the time of year, like I said, we're here in May, I would say you probably want to be here between 8 and 9, and you'll probably find a spot. The thing is, you got to think about it, is as soon as people start arriving, once the parking lot's full in the morning, you're not going to find a spot because nobody's coming out yet. Usually the people are starting to come out around noon. So if you're here in the morning and there's no spots, just go straight into town. And the parking lots there, the further you get out of the city, they get a little cheaper. So directly out of Zion, we saw parking lots that were charging $40, and then down the block it was $20. And then of course you could park on the street where they have the city monitors, and you can just pay that way as well.
Yeah, we paid $2. We paid $2 to park in the city, and I think that was during the afternoon, so it might actually change and stuff. But basically how it works is that there's the park, you go in, you go to the visitor center, everybody parks at the visitor center, or everybody meets at the visitor center. There's a bunch of buses and all that kind of stuff, and everyone leaves on a bus. Like, you're not really driving around Zion, is how I see it as a hiker. You get there to the visitor center, you park, or you get a bus to take you to the visitor center, and then you drive, or then you take the bus and you go to whatever hiking spot that you want. If you're looking to backpack, they actually do give you a little tag to put into your car. So we have like little blue tags that we have in our car, so we can park our car a little bit longer in some spots. Oh, the bus drivers are hilarious.
Yeah, the bus drivers are good.
Yeah, there were some of them that are pretty funny. They're comedians, so they're a lot of fun. So I wouldn't say that, like, don't get all discouraged about the bus. It's actually pretty fun, and it's I always say it's like Disneyland. This is like a Tam Disneyland place, because it's like literally they're entertaining you in the bus on your ride up, and basically what they do is you go from the visitor center, and the bus takes you all the way to the Narrows, and it stops there, and then it comes right back down. Really easy to understand this bus system, so don't be scared about it or anything like that. And there was plenty of parking, at least it looked like it. Of course, we're probably not in peak season.
Well, and there's plenty of buses too. I mean, they're running constantly, so it's not like you're waiting around for a bus. Yeah, they do a really good job at shuttling the people. Okay, as for camping, we did make a reservation at multiple spots. Like I said, we made a reservation in the Narrows to go backpacking into the Narrows. Watch that video if you're looking at doing that. We had to end up canceling that, but they did have another camping spot available. No water available. The majority of the water here, which I do talk about in my Narrows video, the majority of the water here, you cannot drink. That's a huge deal when you're at, like, currently right now it's like 95 degrees. You cannot drink the water, even if you filter it, can't drink it from the stream over here. So you be prepared to carry all of your own water. If you want to go camping in Zion, what you want to do is you go to the permit office. It's called Wilderness Permit. You go there. It costs only like $5 to camp here. And that's going backpacking. You reserve a spot. We reserved them online 30 days beforehand. But again, sometimes they can have some spots as well. But it was like 3 miles to get to that spot. Yeah, that wasn't bad.
It seemed a lot longer than that. We were done. We were done. It was done. Like, you guys, usually, I can hike a lot. I mean, usually 8 miles right now at my age right now, I'm good. This was 3 miles to get to our hiking spot, and it was hot and dry.
The heat makes it seem longer, that's for sure. It makes it a lot harder.
And like the sun is that's so powerful. I'm not used to that. Again, if you watch my channel, I'm from Colorado, so like that heat comes down and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like melting. So what really was 3 miles felt like 6. We did climb one of these really high ridges and stuff to get to our camp spot. And in fact, if you watch that video, we didn't even make it to our final camp spot. We took an earlier camp spot, but it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, and we were losing sun too. So, and the trail wasn't well marked and everything like that, which you would have thought you would see that in Zion. You would think the trails were well marked, but I was happy that we had a map with us. We did find out that there is free camping near Zion. Thank you, Catherine Gregory, for giving me a suggestion. She actually was out here a couple months before me, and I asked her about where could I go for free camping, and there is some free camping. It's about 20 minutes from Zion. We camped it last night. It's a beautiful spot. You basically drive into this area. It's a government-owned land, and you find a spot that's open, and you sit there and you just go ahead and camp. There's RVs out there. There's cars. I would say the roads. How do you think the conditions of the roads there?
Fair. I mean, I wouldn't bring a
small car.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit of clearance to get in there. It's kind of rough.
Yeah, because he owns a Jeep, and I was like, this is not a Jeep. So you definitely want to, like, we rented a little SUV, but it was able to make it in, which was just fine. And we pitched up a tent. So I think that that's totally fine if you want to do that instead of rent in Zion. The only thing is that there is no trees, there's no shade or anything like that. So you really want to make sure when you get to your campsite, like the sun is setting. And so it's not like 100 degrees and you're sitting there at your campsite. So especially if you're tent camping, because that would be really hot unless you have some sort of tarp or cover or something like that, because this sun's pretty intense here. So some of the wildlife as you're camping, we did see some mountain lion tracks here, pretty fresh, right? Actually, you could tell that they stepped over our footprints the day before, or the day after.
It was probably that night. We hiked up that afternoon. It was probably that night or the next morning that they were walking behind us. Because
we went in and out the next day, and we saw that the mountain lion tracks were right on our footprints. So, be prepared for that. I don't think there's any bear here. I'm not saying that I know. I'm just saying no one's talking about bear here. However, the trash cans here in the Zion Park seem more bear-proof. But I haven't seen anybody talking about bear. It's mostly if you're gonna hang like at night, you want to hang your food, and they say it's mostly for the rodents, the mice and stuff, so they don't get in your food. And so we ended up doing that. We brought a topo map, and I would recommend using a topo map. I mean, I like it, so I'm a little addicted to those topo maps, but I think it's better than just reading off a sheet of paper. And the reason is that when we went and got our permit for a campsite we didn't know about, they give you a little like basic map, but it doesn't tell you the elevation you're climbing. So you couldn't tell when you were picking out your campsite that you were climbing, I don't know, maybe 500, 600 feet just to get to your campsite. And it was all within like a quarter mile. So it was a lot of climbing, and you can't see that when they look at it. So I would think bringing a topo map would be a good item to bring. So we purchased most of our supplies in Colorado, and then we brought it out here on the plane. However, you didn't really need to do that. I would say Springdale has all the supplies that you need. Yeah, you might be paying a little bit extra, but we found ourselves really liking the hotel, or not the hotels, but the restaurants.
The restaurants. Yeah. Accommodations are in town, are plenty. It's good.
Like, it's good, but you're like, you drive by, you're like, look at that cute coffee shop, or this place has, like, they have one place that has a pie. We're like, we gotta try the pie. Or after you're done hiking, they take you go through town, and we're like, we should have a beer.
Yeah, there's really good restaurants for getting burgers and beer, and and just refresh yourself after the hike. So there's
Yeah.
plenty of restaurants to eat at if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, like literally too, like the bus drops you off at the visitor center, and today we just walked right over to a restaurant, had a beer, had a hamburger, and now we're off to go hiking again. So it's just like, it's literally like a little Disneyland here. I would say that, if you plan on backpacking the whole time, obviously bring food. We really like these restaurants. We went to one yesterday called Cafe Little Dog?
No, it was Spotted Dog.
Spotted Dog. Yeah, that one was really good. So I'd recommend, I mean, just plan on coming here and trying out some of the restaurants and was it Springdale, because I think it was really nice. In fact, we even talked about if we were going to come here again, we might even stay in a hotel or even a campground in Springdale, because I think that because everything's walking distance, like you literally don't need to go anywhere else.
It all depends on the experience that you guys are looking for too, really. Because I mean, we came here and we had experience A planned, but then we saw the area and how nice it was, with a river running through here and all the nice restaurants sitting right on the river, and we decided, I think we kind of changed up our experience a little bit, because like Tam said, we saw restaurants that said ice cold beer, and we're like, ooh, we need to do that. Onion rings, yes, we need to do that.
Yeah, exactly. So just keep that in mind if you come through here and you're planning on backpacking the whole time. There's just really nice restaurants. It's a really cool town here in Springdale. I really like it, and I know it costs extra. I did look at hotel accommodations over here, and I think it was like upwards of like $300 to stay in Springdale. We didn't end up staying in Springdale. We've been camping every night. So, and you can find free camping and you can go backpacking, which is what we did. But I think if we were to come here again, we might spend a night here in a hotel and just kind of enjoy the little town here, because it's just so cute. So you might be wondering about water, because you can't filter the water from the streams. There are some campsites that actually do have springs that you can filter water from. So the campsite that we did the first night had a spring up the way. We didn't end up using it because we brought plenty of water. But another campsite that we were renting as well also had a place where it had a spring. So if you are backpacking, they do have options for that. However, I don't know if I would trust it, because like all the rivers and stuff that were on the map saying they were a river, they were all empty. Like none of them had water in it. So I would just plan, if you're coming out here to go backpacking, that you bring all of your water. We went to Walmart in St. George and just bought like 4 jugs of water. So we have a ton of water for this trip. But as for the park, they actually have little water stations that you can fill your water bottles and stuff like that. So you don't have to worry about that. If you wanted just to come into here and you just wanted to go hiking around here, go ahead and do that. Okay guys, so we were gonna get going. It's 95 degrees. We are sweating here under the tree. We're gonna head on out to the hike, but I wanted to end this video showing you the Emerald Falls hike that I think is gonna be just beautiful today. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. say something because it's looking at you.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Do you have to do that facial expression too?
1, 2, 3.
That's your smolder.
My smolder?
You have a smolder.
What's a smolder? I've never heard of that before. What's a smolder?
You haven't watched Tingles?
No.
Smolder.
Smolder.
Smolder. What's that for? What does that do?
What's the name on it?
Look at you, being all creative and everything.
I'm like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little better now.
Okay.
It's out of the shot.
Is it? No, you can see it. It's this little furry thing right there.
It's okay.
Do you want to be in it when I start it? Or else you're just staring at the camera?
Oh, I'll just hang
Do you
out
want
here.
to go out there?
No,
You're just
I'm not going to
stare at
step
me?
in like a guest appearance, like a cameo or something. And look who we have here today.
Oh, look who's coming.
Yeah.
It's stuck in that tree. This is complicated. Okay.
So how are you going to do this? You going to just start talking? Like, how do you want me? You can ask me questions, or
No, I'm not going to ask you anything.
you just want me to pop in when I have a thought?
Yeah. Are you good with that? Can you handle that?
Yeah, I can handle that.
I usually just wing stuff anyways. I have notes.
We got to do it.
Cut
So.
out.
Grab your
Okay, I think the
water
first thing... Are you thirsty?
bottle. Yeah.
It's nice, warm water.
Great.
We'll wait for you. Go ahead. So we're going to have to keep cutting this. This is going to be a long video to edit. What do you call it when you give something away in a movie? Giveaway? I don't know. What did I do?
Lottery?
No, it's not lottery. What do we give away the ending of the movie?
Oh, spoil the...
A spoil alert.
Yeah, the spoil.
We're still talking about reservations.
So we talk about bugs
Parking.
biting you in the ass? Ouch.
Did you get the one, the cow killing
I
one?
don't think so. I think it was an ant.
We don't want to bitch too much, though.
No, but we know how good way to do it.
Yeah. Piss before you go to the Narrows. Yes, we should.
Accommodations for
Supplies, yes.
Cooking, yes.
Supplies is next. Yes, we are sweating.
ass is numb.
Okay. You want to stop?
Numb butt. Nope.
And keep going? Where?
Yeah.
Okay, supplies.
Oh my god, I've been trying to sneeze for like 5 minutes. Or trying not to sneeze.
Just sneeze. Let it out. I could edit it.